Hey guys, it's me Suja over here. Welcome back to another video. So, on this video, I'm going to be talking about Trump won. So, what does this mean for India? Yeah, if you're new to my channel, the name of my channel is called as Suja in Vietnam. Been living in Vietnam for over 7 years now. I was an English teacher before for over 4.5 years. Then I started my online digital marketing business, and I'm also a full time YouTuber. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, it takes less than 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button, and that way you can support my content. Since I'm out here in India, I just thought of taking this opportunity of giving my personal analysis. So I'm not I'm not just making assumptions. So yeah, I'm an American educated um, Indian. I did my bachelor's from the States. I studied quite a lot of American politics, like Democrats, Republican, about Homeland Security. Um, that was like, I think, 0.1%. So I'm going to give my personal analysis. But first, let me just have a bit of my Pepsi. Got a bit of Pizza Hut as well. So, so I'm going to be talking. I'll be munching a bit of my pepperoni pizza, and I'll give you my analysis. So, I've been following the elections. Kamala Harris, Trump. At one point, I really thought that Harris is going to win. She's from the Democrat, so Trump won, and of course, India was like, before the elections, I was watching the news out here. A lot of temples, Indian temples, they're praying for Trump to win and everything, and all that hype going around. So now that now that Trump has won, is it going to be anything better for India? So I'm just going to give you a point blank answer right now is that it's not going to be very beneficial for India for 2025, Trump winning the election. I'll give you some reasons why. So, yeah, when Biden was the president, um, I think he still is right now. He really under his leadership, he really messed up the U.S. economy, right? The U.S. economy, as I speak, is in a very bad shape. There's a lot of inflation going around. There's a lot of illegal immigrants. There are also a lot of Indian immigrants in the U.S. with the was that H1 visa or something? I don't know. I've been told that that visa has been misused or something, and a lot of I've been hearing also like a lot of Indians last year they came across the US, they crossed the Mexican border. So there was like this mass migration of Indians, illegal Indians who had come to the US. Well, um, let me just have a bit of my pizza. Sorry. Okay. Shit. Okay. I'm having a bit of my pepperoni pizza. So So Trump right now, from what I can analyze, is I think the first few months, I think the first 3 months, you're going to be seeing a lot of deportations. There will be a lot of deportations, and especially a lot of Indians who are on that H1 visa or whatever, or that green card or whatever. It will be much harder to obtain the green card. And of course, you'll see a lot of Indians being deported from the United States. S- um yes, my brother, he lives in America with his family. He's an American citizen, been living there for over 25 years. My father is a green card holder. It took him, I think, over 6 7 years to get the green card, and I think he spent a lot of money for getting the green card. And you have to follow everything legally. Now, unfortunately, there are also a lot of Indians who are going to the US, especially from South India and all those, whatever. But I think somewhere down the line, um, it's kind of the visa under which they go is kind of being a bit misused. And of course, resulting in a lot of Indians who are living in the United States illegally, a lot of Indians who are crossing the border, the Mexican border, illegally to the US, and especially these are all Punjabis, I've been told, who like to cross the border and go across the US, risking their life, their family's life, their kids' life, whatever. So this is all going to come to a standstill. So back with the border walls. Um, so yeah, within the next 3 months, you're going to see a lot of mass deportations. It's not going to be easy for Indians anymore to go to the U.S. With that H1 visa or whatever, HB1 visa. I don't know. It's going to be very difficult, and of course, the process is going to be a bit more complicated. It's going to be difficult for Indians to apply for U.S. visas. Going for tourism, I don't think that's going to be affected. But if you're going for some other, if you're going to be living illegally in the U.S., um, there are high chances that you may get deported. So yes, you'll see a lot of action from ICE. They're the local law enforcement, so that's going to happen within the next 3 months, I presume. Uh, So Trump is going to be focusing mainly on reviving back the US economy to lower the inflation, to create more jobs for the American people. Um, and I don't have much good news for, spoiler alert, a lot of Indians who have these blue collar jobs in the US. It's going to be hard for Indians to get blue collar jobs. This craze around this stereotype, like a lot of IT people are all Indians in the US. I think that dynamic is going to change now. So a lot of you'll see a lot of white Americans. They'll be taking up these new skills, these blue collar jobs, the IT skills. So I think it's not going to be like a lot of Indians. They own the IT sector in the U.S. and everything. That's going to shift. The dynamics is going to shift. So yeah, a lot of young Indians, aspiring Indians who are planning to go to the U.S. for IT or whatever. I think you should have a second thought about it because it's not going to be easy anymore. So I think there's going to be that shift in dynamics, right? So a lot of blue collar jobs, um, or is it white collar? I don't know. So a lot of corporate jobs and all that will go to the local Americans, will go to the local people. Then what I can understand is the exports are going to have a hit to the US, right? So whatever exports which India presently has with the US, so that's going to hit, right? Because you need to understand that Trump is going to be focusing on the US economy for the US people, make America great again for the next solid 2 years. And of course, the first year is going to be pretty heavy, very, very intense. So already, if you check the YouTube, um, if you see Trump talking on YouTube, what he's going to do for the first day when he's going to be the president. So he's already laid down a lot of points, right? So Yeah, it's going to, so exports may have a hit. The Indian exports to the U.S. will have a hit. But on the other hand, because there'll be more encouragement of U.S. exports to other countries like India, so that will increase, I presume. I think defense ties between India and U.S. is going to further strengthen, and there is a high chance that, sorry, I'm still enjoying my pizza. There's a high chance that India may acquire some F-35s by 2025. So that push may come from the administration, right? But yes, exports may hit. And of course, the other point would be that uh, the US dollar is going to further become stronger, is going to appreciate. So this is not going to be good for the Indian rupee, because right now I think the Indian rupee is around 84. India has always been a weak currency, even in Southeast Asia. I made a video about this. Whenever Indian travelers go to other Southeast Asian countries like Thailand and all that, they find it expensive, whatever. But the bad news is I think the Indian rupee is going to fall further. So it's going to be around 90, or it could even reach 95 to a dollar. So I think India needs to prepare itself to not peg its currency with the U.S. dollar, and try to further uh, isolate the Indian rupee and have its own currency when dealing with international trading. When dealing with other international trading partners, right? So I think this needs to be looked into, because Indian rupee is not going to get stronger anymore, especially under the Trump administration. I think for the next 2 years, you're going to see a fall in the Indian rupee. So maybe it may go down to 90, it may even go down to 120 Indian rupee versus a US dollar. So I think India needs to look into this, right? I think there should be more push towards self reliance in India, like not be too dependent with the US, because you need to understand that Trump has got specific agendas outlined for his administration. So that is going to be mass deportation, reduce inflation, create more jobs for the American people, white collar jobs. I think white collar, yeah. A lot of IT. So a lot of Indians would get laid off from IT jobs um, by 2025 and even by 2026. So you'll see a lot of local Americans, white Americans, picking up the IT skills. So they'll be taking over, because like make America great again, right? So, but yes, I think exports from the U.S. to India will increase. There'll be a push. You need to understand Trump is a businessman, right? He's not only a president. He's not only the president of the United States. He's a businessman by DNA. I've seen his apprentice shows and everything. So while he is the president of the U.S., he will also be thinking like a businessman, right? As an entrepreneur. So yes, you will see more Trump towers being developed out here in India. More personal interest for the U.S., right? But yeah, exports may take a hit. Indian rupee may fall. Mass deportation. Um, so yeah, I think India should not be very optimistic for 2025 and maybe even 2026. Should not heavily rely itself with the US. I see all this in the Indian news media. up ki bar Modi sarkar, I mean, sorry, up ki bar Trump sarkar, this is the era of Trump, and Modi, Trump hugging around. That's all fine, those are all diplomacy. But the reality is going to be very different, and this is Trump 2.0. So he's going to be very different compared to what he was before, right? He's gone through a lot of things. He's gone through a lot of hardships. He had court cases. So he is going to be a very different president for this term. And of course, if I'm going to be talking a bit about the global dynamics, it's not going to be good for China. So there will be a lot of export. Chinese export to the U.S. will have a drastic reduction. Uh, Maybe the war in Ukraine may come to a standstill. Maybe a kind of a long ceasefire. You know. Sorry, it's a bit noisy outside. I'm still in India, right? So there may be a long ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. So that could be one solution, coming to a resolution. Europe's going to be a shit show. Europe's going to go through a lot of economic depression by 2025. Germany already, Germany already is having a lot of economic depression. That's going to get worse because like Russia is already acting tough with Europe. Sorry, there's some election time going around here in Maharashtra, so I keep on hearing a lot of tuk-tuks, with their microphones, all Indian politics. I'm not into Indian politics, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be looking good for Europe, and you know, there may be a war between China and Taiwan. So yeah, I'm going to cut the video right now. It's so noisy right now outside. I'm still in India. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As far as I can see it from an analytical point of view, knowing that I've also studied U.S. politics, knowing Trump has got different agendas outlined for this administration, and he is going to be focusing on fixing America right now. So it's not going to be very beneficial for India at this point. So India needs to prepare itself. They have to also mentally prepare that the rupee is going to fall further, right? So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If I skipped out on any points. If you like watching this video, make sure to like the video and all the good stuff. If you found this video to be informational, you can always buy me a coffee. The link is down in the description below. With that being said, you guys have a great evening. I'm going to enjoy my pizza. Um, Peace out.